Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Bryant's Alumni Association, welcome to our first alumni webinar of the fall, designed to share professional expertise with members of the Bryant community. My name is Sade Hunt-Jante from the class of 2017, and I manage online communications for the Alumni and Parent Engagement Office. Today, you'll hear from Jackie Cantoni from the class of 1987, who is an award-winning mentor, author, and speaker. Our webinar will be moderated by medical business analyst, author of Beach and Ocean Coloring Books, Darcy Niels. Before we start, let's establish the structure of today's webinar, which will last for 1 hour. All participants are in a listen-only mode. However, we encourage you to comment and ask questions using the question and answer feature located in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. We'll answer questions throughout the webinar we'll answer questions at the end of the webinar. After today's presentation, you will receive a survey. Please take a moment to provide feedback. Your comments are valuable as we expand our professional development programs. Now, I'll turn the program over to Darcy Niels, today's moderator. Darcy lives in Southern California and is the creator of Beach and Ocean Coloring Books for kids and a dog's children's book named Dogs Inspired by Her Dog, Blue. She likes to surround herself with positive people like Jackie Cantoni and also positive affirmations, which she has added to products for adults and kids throughout her online store, Home by Darcy. She believes that when people plant positive seeds in their mind, anything is possible. Like most of us, Darcy has struggled for a period of time in her life until she realized by planting seeds of her choice in her brain and adding faith and action, a great life can and will be achieved and is available to all who take the time and responsibility to create their own future. She is a medical business analyst when she's not creating products and has donated several hundred of her products to children and teens who have been abandoned by their parents. Today, she's offering a free bonus product to someone who is listening to this live webinar. Simply email Jackie after the presentation and share what product would inspire and help your life. Take it away, Darcy.
Thank you, Chard, and welcome everyone. I am proud to introduce today's presenter, Jackie Cantoni, an award-winning mentor, author, and speaker whose passion and proven strategies have been transforming lives for more than 2 decades. She inspires others with her newly released book, Are You Ready? A Guide to be the Best Version of You. Jackie received a remarkable Women in Business Award and is the co-founder of 2 nonprofits that she has helped special needs children and inner city youth. She graduated from Bryant with a concentration in finance and communication and received her MBA from RPI. Currently, Jackie is a director of enterprise integration, responsible for mitigating risk for mergers and acquisitions at a Fortune 6 company. She has 2 beautiful sons and lives in Florida with her loving husband, Jim. Together, they co-authored 2 children's books, I Love You Too, that's TWO, and Give a Hug, Get a Hug. Jackie believes the most important investment you will ever make is within yourself. And I agree. I love that. I'm excited. Let's start today's presentation with Jackie. Are you ready? A guide to be the best version of you. Without further ado, here is Jackie.
Thank you, Darcy and Sade. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. There's so much I want to share. And today our focus is you. As Darcy mentioned, the most important investment you will ever make is in yourself. We'll share strategies for becoming the best version of yourself, and think about how beautiful is self-confidence. Yet so many people have not been taught to believe in themselves. And this has been an underlying theme regardless of the mentees or clients that I work with, regardless of their social or economic background. I have found that many people just don't have an unwavering confidence and belief in themselves. And that's what prompted me to write the book, Are You Ready? A Guide to be the Best Version of You. I love to mentor and have been transforming lives for over 2 decades and received the Mentor of the Year award for doing what I love and living my passion. Today, we're going to share some highlights from the book. We're going to focus on re-energizing you, instilling self-confidence, believing in yourself, conquering negative self-chatter, and removing self-doubt, and becoming the best version of yourself through positive choice, your voice, and taking action. If you have a piece of paper and a pen, we're going to have an interactive session, and you're welcome to ask questions in the question field as we go along, or as well as save them to the end. Darcy will be helping with that. I want to just get a pulse right now from our participants, if everybody could go to their questions field, and wanted to, when you look at the image that you see on the screen, where do you see your confidence? And I can give you an example. So for some of us, confidence is stuck inside of us. We're waiting to sprout like the seed under the ground, while others' confidence and self-worth can be fully blossomed. And keep in mind, your confidence can shift from one work meeting to the next, or one conversation to the next. So where do you see, let's take a moment, and if you want to put into the question field where you see your confidence, or if there's anything you are uncertain with, that you struggle with confidence, that you want to make sure that we cover today. So Darcy, do you want to share what you're seeing in the questions field?
Well, there's a few here actually. Some say I am blossoming. I'm blossoming. I need some help. Overall, I see myself pretty happy. This one says I see myself in the middle. Some days are better than others. I think we all kind of feel that way at times. There's another one here that says I'm still a seed. I am definitely waiting to sprout, and I'm hoping today's webinar will help. There's another one that says blossoming. So it looks like we have quite a variety.
Perfect, thank you. And just keep in mind, as we go through, these strategies are for someone who is still ready to sprout and wants to develop that confidence, as well as some of us who at times feel very confident, but may go into a situation where we need some additional strategies or top of mind reminders of what that looks like from a confidence level standpoint. So let's jump in. Think back to your childhood. Can you bring back some of that youthful energy? Think of the energy you had as a child. And if someone asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You had an answer. There was no limitations. Yet as adults, do you put you off your dreams because you think they can't be materialized? Children believe in themselves before the world tells them otherwise. And we want to bring back some of that inner belief from when we were a child as we go through our presentation. We want to capture that. So I have an activity to start us right off. So want to discover you, and we're going to write down two things. The first is a goal. So I want you to write down a goal that you have, or a passion or a dream, something that, think about something that you love that you could talk about for hours if someone would listen to you. What would be a goal or a passion that you hold in your heart, something you might want to pursue? And then if you want to share that with the audience as well, in the question box, share in your questions, we can do that as well. Does anyone want to share a goal that they have? And it can be a personal goal, it could be a workforce goal, it could be related to your health, something that as we go through the presentation, you want to think about as a goal. And Darcy, do you see anyone sharing?
Well, I think some people are being funny. I see one that says I would like a new car. Someone else says I want a new house.
Well, those are great. You know, you laugh and I laugh, but the reality is, for those type of goals, we are actually going to talk about how you can get to those, because whether a goal is a material goal, belief in yourself, whatever it is, there's certain strategies that you can take. They're the same strategies as you move through your days in your life. So we'll take a look at that. And then secondly, one taking care of you item, because in order to achieve your goals, you need to take care of you and make yourself a priority. So I want you to write down a taking care of you item as well. And again, you could share that in the chat so we get to learn about each other. And Darcy, as you see, Annie, you could share those as well. What are some taking care of you items that you want to share?
It looks like some folks are still typing here.
Okay. And so just as an example, it could be a love of painting. So someone could always want to create artwork that they want to show in an art show or at a gallery. That could be one of your goals or your passions. And a taking care of you item can be something to rejuvenate you. It could be reading a book, working out, learning how to play golf. So think about what that is for you. So we're going to jump right in. So This quote by Norman Vincent Peale, we struggle with the complexities and avoid the simplicities. Simplicity is a gift you give to yourself. A secret and key to life is adding simple daily actions. It's these simple actions that move you forward when you feel stuck, nervous, or unsure of yourself. So let's get started. This quote, you are a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. Our first topic is self-image. Today, as we focus on you, how do you view yourself? What is your self-image? This quote from an unknown author was shared with me from one of my best friends, Veronica, who's actually a Bryant graduate. And it reads that you are a masterpiece and a work in progress. So on your journey to your best self, know and remind yourself that you are a work in progress as well as a masterpiece. And by that, I want you to reveal yourself each day with the confidence of a masterpiece. You're beautiful, you're unique, you're talented. You have strengths and leadership and skills that you bring each day to your work and to your family. And you want to recognize that every day. At the same time, know the best version of you will not always be perfect. And that's okay. Life is not perfect. Don't let time slip away waiting for perfection. Many times our fear is, well, now it's just not the right time to go after that goal, or there's always something that is not perfect. And you want to realize that life is not perfect and not to let time slip away waiting for perfection. You're beautiful the way you are today. And so closely aligned to self-image is self-worth. How do you decide your self-worth? Do you look at images displayed in the media and the world and question your self-worth, especially when you compare yourself to those images? What does that feel like, or what does that do to your self-worth? And you could put that answer into the question box as well. How do you feel when you're looking at those images? And let me give you an example. How often do you look at a perfect post of a person? What looks like a perfect person, they're on the perfect vacation, wearing the perfect clothes, with the perfect family. What does that do to your self-worth and your confidence level? Does your energy level dip because you're viewing others' lives? Again, if you want to share, what does that do to you? And Darcy, if you see anything, you're welcome to share that as well.
Okay, yes, one person says they need to work out more, reach their full potential. Nothing is perfect. I feel underaccomplished, difficult to see, getting healthier, taking care of myself, getting healthy. So yeah, there's quite a list
Perfect.
here. Yeah,
Okay,
getting
perfect. And
yeah.
that gives me a little bit of a sense of some of the things we want to focus on today. And when you think about getting healthy and wanting to travel and do things for you, one of the keys is your energy. You only have so much energy that you can take with you during a day. And so a number of our strategies are going to take a look at how you can increase your energy level during the day. And one of them is a strategy called disconnect to reconnect. And can you begin to disconnect from your devices, your computers, your phones, and look up and see each other and even yourself? Today, with technology at our fingertips, we really need to disconnect to reconnect with ourselves. I have a challenge for you. Are you ready? Can you just disconnect for a day or even 2 or 3 days from viewing others' online images and use the time to reconnect with yourself? I'm confident that you'll have newfound energy and motivation. When we're looking at other people's lives and we're spending all that time on responding to chats and other people's likes, and that's important, and it's not that you shouldn't be doing it, it's just the amount of time that people use that energy, they can be taking that and using it for themselves. So can you limit your views on other days to under 5 minutes, and let's reclaim your energy and re-energize you. And another way is a lot of times we hold on to images that are out there, and they actually, even though we're no longer looking at them, they're taking our energy away. It could be a coworker at work who's maybe performing a little bit better than we are. It could be someone that we see online, and that energy we need to release. So we have to be intentional. And one way is by actually saying, I will no longer compare myself to, state their name, I will release the competitive vibe and shift my energy on a picture of success for myself, because negative self-talk and self-doubt really do come from viewing others' perfect lives. So we're going to start with daily self-affirmations. Again, this is a simple strategy. However, it's something that's very critical as we go through our days. One strategy to boost your self-belief and confidence is to surround yourself with positive affirmations, both verbal and written. A verbal affirmation is optimistic self-talk. It reminds you the value you bring each day. Are you providing financially for your family? Are you furthering your education? What are you doing that you appreciate about yourself? It reminds you the value you bring each day, and it rejuvenates you with new energy. And you also want to surround yourself with written affirmations. On my desk, I have proceed as if success is inevitable, and on our wall we have be you, love what you do artwork. You want to think about your goals and how often self-doubt swirls in your mind or negative self-chatter frolics in your head, causing you to shift to why something may not work. And you can only hold so many thoughts in your head. And if it's negative thoughts that are repeating throughout your day, then it's taking your energy and your focus off your true goals and your taking care of you items. So to overcome this self-doubt, again, it's a simple strategy, but you would see a significant impact if you take and practice simple daily actions and introduce affirmations to replace self-doubt and negative self-chatter. And surround yourself with encouraging messages as you go through the day. It's important to write these down. So I'm going to ask everybody to write one positive self-affirmation, one thing that you appreciate about yourself. Again, it sounds simple, but it really, really will make a difference in your life to surround yourself with what you appreciate about yourself. And you're welcome to share those in the chat as well. And then I have a challenge for you. Each day, can you write 3 self-affirmations and remind yourself of them throughout the day? Okay. Darcy, is there anything you want to share?
Yes, we have one here that they want to work on their attitude. Someone else said, I am married to an amazing person and I'm happy. Another person said they want to work on their children and my smile, it says here. Also integrity. Those
Okay.
are a few here.
Okay, perfect. So it's important to realize these strategies, you say working on your children, these strategies apply once you learn them yourself. Instilling that in your children is critical as well, and we do touch upon this. So in addition to self-affirmations, another strategy is positive self-talk. It's simple and will bring it top of mind. One of my favorite sayings is, I've got this. I attended a large conference where the guest speaker was a president of a Fortune 50 company, and after the presentation, I wanted to introduce myself. I recall self-doubt filling my mind, thinking, why would he want to talk with me? I was so nervous to say hello to a guest speaker. My thoughts were filled with negative self-chatter, and I found that, or let me ask you this, how often do you sabotage yourself or not even give yourself a chance because of self-doubt? We frequently have self-doubt. And so I took that first step forward and I said to myself, I got this, I got this. And I repeated it all the way up to the stage. And before I knew it, I was standing in front of him. And I mentioned to him the influence that he had on the influence the presentation had on me. And he was gracious and welcoming. And not one of the negative scenarios that played out in my mind came true. It's the fear of failure that's so daunting that makes us not even want to try. Failure is only teaching us a lesson. It's teaching us to move in a different direction. Failure is actually something at times needs to be celebrated, because a plan that fails actually means you're choosing to take action. And it's that first action step. I cannot stress action enough as we go through this presentation. I have a 24-year-old son who has his own business and was recently asked to speak in London. He flew out to Paris, spoke at a conference in London. They paid for him to go out there. He went to Croatia, Italy, and back to London. And I think about how when he was growing up, just my husband and I instilling in him the unlimiting beliefs So many of us have limiting beliefs holding us back from what we think we can achieve and what we can do. And what a difference when we shift our mindset to help our children, to help our spouse, to help ourselves, to believe in whatever they truly have in their heart or we have in our heart that we can do. If we plan and we work for, we can accomplish it as we go through our lives. There are two gifts you give yourself to inspire confidence. One is the belief in yourself, and two is someone else who believes in you. Our focus today is on the first, belief in yourself, but we'll touch upon the second, someone who believes in you, a mentor, a family member, a friend, because it's just as critical to the cornerstone to confidence. So how do you learn to believe in yourself? A first step is to remember belief is a mindset. It begins with a thought, a seed planted in your mind. Let's begin to change your thought pattern. It could be as simple as when you get out of bed, you can say, I believe in me. Or when you're driving in the car, walking into work, or in the shower, you can say, I believe in me. I love being me. I got this. It changes your thought pattern. It takes out negative self chatter that could be in your mind and forms a positive habit. These are strategies that become habits over time and create a new attitude and a new outlook for you as you go through your life, creating internal belief. Take a moment to reflect on a past interview, a presentation, a conversation with a new friend or your boss. How did you portray yourself? Were you confident and self-assured? How did you promote yourself? Think about you are your brand. How you portray or promote yourself is part of your personal brand. In the book, we talk more about your personal brand. When you think about it, you really are the CEO and president of Company You. The image you present, the mission you adhere to, the ideals for which you stand influence your success in achieving your goals. You want to make sure that you're instilling that belief in yourself and you're seeing yourself as your brand and the CEO of you, and you want to release the perfect image perception of what you think your life should look like. And that's why those images that you're seeing online are not always the perfect person. You want to release that perfect image perception so you can embrace you and your uniqueness. And so, how can you appreciate your uniqueness? Can you appreciate it from a flower? My husband jokes and says I must have been a bumblebee in a previous life. When I see roses, I'm immersed in their beauty. There's a saying, flowers do not compare themselves to the flower next to them to determine their beauty. Flowers do not look outside themselves to see who or what the other flowers are blooming. Why should you? To me, flowers stay in their lane. To stay in your lane means to shift your focus from the competition to yourself. Imagine if you had a dream of writing a cookbook. Then one day you walk into the bookstore and you see more than 50 cookbooks on the shelf. The way you respond to this competition and internalize it can determine your future drive. It can be discouraging. It could be discouraging to see that many chefs on cookbooks in the bookstore. And if you compare yourself and internalize it, your pace may slow because of the competition. However, if you stay in your lane and focus on you and your love of cooking, then you'll remember the talent you have and why you thought of writing the cookbook in the first place. I mean, it happens all the time. We have our own goal and we look outside of our lane and we see someone who's doing it a little bit better. And we say, oh, they're better than I am. I'm not going to do that right now. And we give up on ourselves. But if we focus our energy on ourselves and the next action step, it makes all the difference. When we put too much time on the competition, recognize this as a habit that can change. And don't waste your energy comparing yourself to others. Stay in your lane and identify your own strengths. And love being you. Do you love yourself? It sounds simple, but if I asked you what or whom do you love, would you mention yourself? Begin to be grateful for you. Lift yourself up with encouragement. Appreciate the times you have a quirky behavior. Celebrate and love being you. And so I have a challenge for you. What is one thing that you love about yourself? And if you want to put that in the questions, Darcy, we could take a listen to what people love about themselves. And I also want to put a challenge out there. Tonight, I want you to go home and write 10 things that you love about yourself. And then each day add to that and have it as a place to look back on and smile. Again, very simple. These are foundational strategies that you have to love who you are as we move through this presentation so you can accomplish the goals that we're going to take a look at. So for example, I love that I want to make a positive difference in the lives of youth. I love that I have a beautiful smile I can share with others. I love that I'm kind and caring when someone needs a helping hand. So Darcy, do we have anything you want to share? Okay.
I'm sorry about that. The mute wouldn't come off.
Okay,
Yes,
sure.
we have a few here. One of them says, I am excited a lot, but I feel like I have no direction. Another person says, I am pretty motivated. Someone else says, I feel original, but I'm not inspired.
Okay, that's helpful. So that's helpful as we go through, because we are going to talk a little about how to be more inspired and how to focus on a goal and take that first step to move through that. So uh, the one additional thing I wanted to talk to before we move on to some of those action steps is one of the sayings that I have is don't dim your light because others think it's too bright. Comedian Amy Schumer jokingly responded to an InStyle magazine question regarding her childhood. She said, my parents made me think I was a genius supermodel, and it was kind of too late when I found out they had been lying. And I quickly related to this quote when I look back on my middle school years. I remember being excited to see who made the track team, and I still recall my disappointment when my name was not on the list. I remember arriving home discouraged and my mom hugging me and explaining that was not my path. When I look back at my awkward middle school years with braces and a chubby face, I recall how often my parents and sister made me feel beautiful and talented. The truth is, we believe what we hear over and over. Instilling confidence is crucial. I'm not suggesting false praise or false hope or fake praise, rather instilling a sense of self-belief and inner beauty no matter what you look like, for yourself or if you're raising children. Reminding yourself out loud of your unique talents and gifts. Can you respond? Can you also surround yourself with others who love and appreciate you? We need to see and hear others that are supporting us. When I was rejected from the track team, I changed my focus, became a cheerleader, and by doing what I loved, I received the Most Congeniality Award and the Best Smile Award. My life lesson became, when I fail, life is telling me there's a better path waiting for me. One door closes, look forward, and let your light shine. So it's really important to get that mindset in place as you move forward into our next section, which is choice, voice, and action. You want to make sure that you are believing in yourself, you are saying your self affirmations, you have positive talk as you go through each day to inspire you to begin to take action. So let's look at how we can transform your life through choice, voice, and action. Let's start by taking a look at action. A friend of mine said to me the other day, he said, I finally took the first step for this work project that was hanging over my head for over a month. And you know what? It only took me 27 minutes to complete. Yet it took him 27 days to start and only 27 minutes to complete. How often does that happen to us? It's the first step that moves us forward. Simple daily actions, one step at a time. Action is the key to confidence, self-worth, and believing in yourself. If you're standing still and you're not moving forward, that's when self-doubt and self-chatter can form. It's really taking that first step. And we're going to look at strategies to do that. We often get stuck holding dreams in our heart, not wanting to move forward. We feel as if we're standing still, sometimes in a funk, with no motivation. The secret to overcoming this indecision is action. One small, simple first step. You want to swap negative thoughts with action. The tortoise in this photo reminds me of the old fable, The Tortoise and the Hare, a famous tale by Aesop used for generations to teach a lesson. While standing at the starting gate, ready to take the first step, how easy would it have been for the tortoise to look up and see the rabbit sprint out ahead of her and give up? She could have been telling herself, I'm not fast enough, I'm not good enough, look how fast the rabbit is. Have you ever done this and doubted yourself and your abilities? Again, looking outside at others and their performance. The tortoise was wise enough to know the race was truly not against the rabbit. She wanted to finish for herself, and we need to internalize that and finish our goals for ourselves. She stuck out her neck and took the first step. She stayed in her lane and focused on her. Like the tortoise, we must realize our journey is our own. We must look internally for self-discipline. So, what do you want to pursue, yet have been afraid to stick your neck out to accomplish? Is there a telephone call you want to make, but have put off because you're afraid? An introduction to someone new that you've been hesitant to pursue? A conversation with someone at work that you're afraid to have? Look for the courage to take the first step. It's just that one step, and the second step will follow to create that momentum. Remember the rabbit who at each stop would zip by and try to discourage the tortoise? The rabbit would remind us, tortoises are slow. Tortoises can't win a race. Do you encounter people in work, at home, in your neighborhood who behave like the rabbit? Their unsupportive actions make you feel inferior? As Eleanor Roosevelt reminds us, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. The next time you encounter someone who dismisses your positive efforts, turn and take the first step in the other direction. Focus on you and your dreams. It's really a visual and a story to remind yourself to stay in your lane, take that first step, believe in yourself, complete your goal for you. Do not look around how everybody else is doing it. Be successful and work for you. Do not compare yourself to others who are there. So just wanted to briefly touch upon, let's do more of what makes you happy. And in order to reach your goals, whether it's that you want to travel or inspire your children or have more inspiration for yourself, you have to be intentional and you want to write it down. And so one strategy is an I will statement. So I want everybody to write down an I will statement that you can create. So if you want to make it intentional to take action. Action creates confidence. So one example could be, we talked about someone who wants to paint. It could be, I will paint a picture that will be displayed in an art show or an art gallery. What is an I will statement for you? You want to put it out there and be intentional.
Jackie, I have a few here. One person said they would like to read more. Another said, I would like to make a list of my goals. I just haven't taken the time. Someone else says, I want to stay calm and not let other people get my blood pressure up. So I think those are really nice ones.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's take that last one. I think that's it's serious but funny at the same time. I want to stay home and not let other people take my blood pressure up. Why? So you choose, and we'll go through this, but you choose your reactions if your blood pressure is being raised. You can actually create an I will statement to change that. So I will, what would that be for you? I will change my attitude so that others' reactions will not affect my blood pressure, or I will work or look at options for changing my career. And then what's my first action step? My first action step could be updating my resume, or my first action step can be updating my attitude, so other people don't affect it. But we have to be intentional. We have to write it down, and we have to decide what that first step is as we go forward. So if I want to paint a picture that will be displayed in the art show, my first action step can be to buy a new canvas, paint supplies, and start painting for 20 minutes a day. Or if I want to learn to play golf, I will learn how to play golf to play with my friends. The first step is to call the golf course to schedule lessons if you've never learned to play. But the point is, you want to have strategies and make it intentional. You can't just have it floating in your head, because it's not going to become a reality for you, or it may not become a reality if it's not intentional. So you want to make it intentional. And then you want to identify your fears. You want to identify your fears head on. So what are you afraid of, that when you think about, well, I really truly want to stay home so I don't have to raise my blood pressure, but I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to provide financially for my family if I stay home. So you have to put your fears out there. Or if I'm painting for a painting to submit to the art gallery, I'm afraid no one will like it. What is the fear that you're facing? Or I don't know how to play golf, I'm afraid to walk on the golf course. you have to be intentional and write that down. And what's the first step to overcome that? So the first step could be, again, I'm going to update my resume. I'm going to submit my resume. I'm going to think of a business that I can do at home. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I can start to research opportunities to follow that dream. But it's really a process to identify what the goal is. What's the first step? What's your fear? And then the first step to overcome that. And the first step creates the momentum as you go forward through your life. You want to face your fears head on and then overcome them. So now let's take a look at choice. We're moving through this very quickly, but I want to get through quite a few things at a high level. We're going to take a look at choice. Each day we choose our attitude and message we bring to the world. So again, we choose our message and our attitude if we're going to have high blood pressure by the people that we work with. The key to life is understanding the power of choice. Life is choice. Have you ever heard someone say, try your best? Are you ready to change your mindset to choose your best? You can choose to be your best self while you're making healthy choices, reacting to a disappointment, or even replenishing and taking care of your soul. Each day you choose your attitude. Why not choose your best? I want everyone to use their imagination as they look at this blank canvas. As part of a volunteer team, I helped design handmade posters for a young girl who was terminally ill and visiting our corporate offices. We wanted to make a positive difference for her. And as the volunteers came through, I watched as they looked at the blank poster board as to what message could possibly convey the compassion in their heart for a little girl who was terminally ill. And as the morning progressed, the posters came alive with, you rock, welcome, brave. These blank poster boards now had a message to share with this little girl. And after volunteering that day, I stopped and thought about those blank poster boards and the team's message to the girl. And I realized each day we start with our own blank canvas. We choose the messages that we bring to the world. We choose each day what message we want to bring on our daily journey. Just as we pack our lunch for work or school, we pack our message. As we wake up each morning, it's your decision to select your message you'll share with the world. You decide your attitude for the day, you decide your direction for the day, you decide your confidence, if you're going to be brave, if you're going to have a positive attitude. You're making these decisions each day. You decide if you're going to go for a new opportunity or continue doing what you've always done. I really want people to understand so much of our life is choice. You have the choice. And at times you may feel, no, my daily choices are made for me by my circumstances, my spouse, my children, my employer, my parents. The truth is you control and choose many of your daily decisions and attitudes. Your future is a blank canvas waiting to be filled with new opportunities. You have that choice and you have to see and begin to feel that within yourself. Have you ever been overwhelmed or many times we're afraid or too busy to decide how to lead our life? We have to change that. Take the first step and realize your life is yours to design. And a strategy to do that is to develop your message with one today I choose to action at a time. The key to your today I choose to action is they're only for today. Then you can accomplish each action each day. They provide daily focus. They move you forward one action item at a time. So here's another Are You Ready challenge for you. Each day, I want you to write 3 today I choose to action statements, sentences that will you'll accomplish today. So you can start small, and if it's relating to your health, you can say, today I choose to walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes. Or today I choose to update my resume because I'm looking for a new position. Or today I choose to paint on my canvas for 30 minutes. I want you to write 3 today I choose to statements, and they could be relating to today I'm going to make sure, today I choose to say my self-affirmations and have positive talk as I go through my day, if it's inspiration that you're looking for. And does anybody want to share in the chat a today I choose to statement? What is something that you could write that today I choose to, something you're going to do for yourself today?
I think we have a good one here. She said, take time to get my home in order. You know, that always makes people feel good when their home is clean. Another one says, I would feed my soul. I care about myself. I would walk in the morning. I'll stop checking my emails outside of work hours.
Perfect. These are terrific. And be specific to be terrific. By writing it down, it changes your mindset and it puts a focus on, you know what? I've been wanting to walk, but the days just seem to go by. I'm too busy. And this puts it where today I'm going to take a walk, and you schedule it in. And today I'm going to update my resume, and I'm going to feed my soul today or clean my house. So it really puts a focus on what you're going to do, one goal, one action step, one day. And we're quickly moving over to your attitude and perspective. Again, we're covering these topics at a high level. We're moving quickly, and the book, Are You Ready, has more detail. But wanted to start with your energy that you create. Emotions and energy are contagious. Confidence is contagious, as is fear or lack of belief. As a leader, how do you inspire others? When you're at work, how do you inspire your coworkers or your team, or at home? How do you inspire your family? Reflect on a professional or social situation. Are you positive and engaging? Let's bring attention to the atmosphere you create when you're interacting with others. Reflect on the past few days and note the times you fed your mind with optimistic actions and thoughts. The conversations you were having were positive and uplifting. How often do you have an upbeat effect on a conversation or another person? Really start to bring that energy level top of mind. And then how about negative energy at work or in a relationship or coming home from work feeling tired? By focusing on your energy, you can influence your goals in your relationships. Remember, you choose your energy. How about positive energy received from others? This is so critical, and a lot of times we don't even pay close attention to this. But are you aware of the energy that's being created by those around you? Have you ever noticed some people leave you feeling energized where others just leave you exhausted? You want to be mindful of your interactions, and you want to, if someone is leaving you feeling exhausted, you want to be aware of that so you can almost put up a shield, if you want to say, where you're still cordial and respectful, but you're not letting that negative energy penetrate your soul. Because if someone else is taking your energy away from you, it's energy you can be using to pursue your passion. It could be energy that you're using to go for that walk that you wanted, or to replenish your soul, or to inspire your children. So the quote, the attitude you bring to the day is what the day will bring to you. Great attitude, great day. A positive attitude and outlook is truly one of the most critical building blocks for your confidence, achieving your goals, and being your best self. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes. It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see, by Henry David Thoreau. Our perspective can make all the difference in our life. I want to share a little about a perspective lesson I learned. When I was pregnant with our second son, it was a high-risk pregnancy with 3 months of full bed rest. After 3 months of steroid shots and my cheeks puffed out like a chipmunk, it was time to deliver our baby. As the doctor said, it's a boy, our hearts were filled with joy. We named our second son Nathaniel Joshua, which means a gift from God, and he truly was our second precious gift from God. Within the first few months, his tiny hands started shaking back and forth, and I called our high-risk specialist and recall how quickly she was to identify his activity as a seizure. At 3 months old, Nathan was diagnosed with epilepsy, a seizure disorder. I heard of it, but was not quite sure what it really meant for our baby or for us. I remember worrying about how he would be able to drive on his 16th birthday if he had a seizure disorder. I was worrying 16 years into the future with no idea what the next 16 months would hold for our family. So 3 more months passed, and Nathan was not developing physically, and we were asked to take him to a neurologist. At 6 months old, he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. As little as I knew about seizures, I knew even less about cerebral palsy. I started to research and had stacks of medical reports. What is CP, and what does it mean for our son's life? Will he be able to walk? He wasn't even rolling. 3 more months passed, and we were asked to take him to an ophthalmologist. Our heads were already spinning with a diagnosis of epilepsy and cerebral palsy. Now at 9 months, our son was diagnosed with cortical visual impairment and was legally blind. Nathan had not even reached his first birthday. I cried. What kind of life would he lead with these diagnoses? Well, something happened after his first birthday. Through the grace of God, we saw Nathan as a beautiful little boy with different abilities. He put our lives into a new perspective. We became grateful almost daily for some of the simple things, including being able to see, walk, and talk. I realized how often I take everyday abilities for granted. Our son may never see a sunset or say, I love you, mommy. Yet his giggles are contagious, and he's one of the happiest, beautiful people I know. Day to day, do you often waste your energy or wear yourself down on activities till you should be saying, is this worth my energy? Or so what? Many of our daily frustrations that raise our blood pressure, that take away our energy so we can't go for a walk, many of our daily frustrations that take this energy away and shift our attitude are often only inconveniences. The traffic is backed up. There's a line at the grocery store. Soccer practice is running behind. The file at work is just taking too long to open. Although these can test our patience, can you have a new perspective and even ask, can I change these circumstances? For example, does traffic get backed up the same time every day when you go to work? Can you choose to leave earlier, take an alternative route, or be more accepting of the results? How about being grateful for the quiet time in your car, or even better, appreciate you have a car that can get stuck in traffic? It sounds simple, but it's surprising how your thoughts can affect your mood. The next time you're sitting in traffic, think about, I should be grateful that I have this car that can get stuck in traffic. And it affects your energy that you want to be using on yourself, to clean your house, to go for your walk, to update your resume, to lower your blood pressure. By keeping your perspective, you can enjoy your experiences from a place of gratitude and watch your energy level increase. One secret to life is a positive and optimistic perspective. And I want to move forward to making yourself a priority, because this is so important. It's a choice to take care of yourself. Are you a priority? Many times we put other people at the top of our priority list. We sink to the bottom, our energy becomes depleted, we lose patience, sometimes we cry more easily, or we feel exhausted from our struggle every day. If we're better rested, take care of ourselves, and become a priority in our lives, we can be more confident, healthier versions of ourselves. How often do you ask someone how they're doing and they respond, I'm so busy? It says people are racing through life, not even enjoying their priorities or themselves. Can you shift your I'm so busy mindset and slow down, focus on a true priority, or even 10 or 20 minutes to move your day forward? Think about at the very beginning, that second item that you wrote about, that taking care of you item. Can you shift your focus on some taking care of you items, which we'll talk about as well? One strategy to make yourself a priority is to learn to say no. There's a saying by Warren Buffett that the difference between successful and really successful people is really successful people know how to say no. And saying no to something you don't want to do means saying yes to something more important in your life. Choose to say yes to you. At times, there's a guilt that can come with saying no. But how about you? Are you letting yourself down if you're exhausted and cannot care for yourself? Saying no doesn't mean you care less. There's a difference between compassion and helping a friend versus not agreeing to be on one more subcommittee. It's okay to say no to activities that are not close to your heart. As simple as it is to say no, many people struggle with it. Choose to make yourself a priority. It's really just becoming top of mind to say, I choose me. I choose to say yes to myself. And know you and your time and your energy are valuable. Say yes to you. And an activity that I want to do to make yourself a priority is a 7 days of you. Think about your life. It's jam-packed with work assignments, children activities, schoolwork, household responsibilities. You plan time for work and your family, but do you plan a list of enjoyable moments for you? A me list allows you to schedule me time, to nourish and replenish your energy, to re-energize you. If you're working all day, if you're taking care of your family all day, you need to think about yourself and take care of yourself. It's critical to reach your goals and to be the best version of yourself. As a homework challenge, can you create 7 days of you, each day with one enjoyable 10 to 20 minute activity to focus on you? So we started to talk about that when we listed our one item earlier. Now we want to do 7 days of taking care of you. For each of the 7 days, 10 to 20 minutes centered on you. What brings you joy? What can rejuvenate and energize you? Can you guys put in the chat or the question area, one example of something you're going to do to take care of you on your 7 days of me list. And it could be to take a nap, to re-energize yourself, to paint on your canvas for 15 minutes, do yoga for 20 minutes, walk with a friend. What is something that you enjoy to do? Go for a bike ride, read a book. Darcy, is there anything you want to share?
Yes, we're getting a few here. Someone said she would like to take a bike ride. Um, let's see here. Go to boxing class. Wow, that's pretty cool. Play the piano. Excellent. Stay energized so that my kids stay energized. That's a good one. Stay enthusiastic, alert, and happy.
Perfect.
So there's a few here.
Those are perfect. And as you learn strategies to say yes to you, you want to make as you learn strategies to say yes to you and make yourself a priority, you want to learn to release the guilt associated with that. And I learned this strategy from our youngest son, Nathan, because he does require 100% care 7 days a week because of his different abilities. At first, it was very difficult for me to consider time for myself. As I considered his needs, I felt guilt associated with me time. I realized soon, though, that being worn down and exhausted benefited no one, including Nathan. I had to teach myself not to be a superhero and to ask others for assistance. As a mom, initially this was not easy for me, but over time I had to learn to release the guilt. And this is really important strategy for you as you go through your days, because we always or very often put other people at the top of our priority list, and we need to start putting ourselves at the top and not feel guilty if we're sitting down and reading for 10 minutes before dinner needs to be started. We need to have that confidence in ourselves to re-energize ourselves and take better care of ourselves. And by myself doing this, by taking care of me, I became more energized and in turn could better take care of Nathan. And Nathan continues to thank me with his contagious giggles. So it's a choice to take care of yourself. You want to take 10 to 20 minutes a day to recharge and energize you. And another strategy, just real briefly, is to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is more important strategy than we realize. Have you ever said something socially or professionally and wished you could take it back? How often do you hold a grudge against yourself? As you think about a conversation or your performance that did not go as planned, the words play over and over in your mind, draining your energy. This is energy you can focus on for you. It's the same for forgiving others. Have you ever been told unkind words that linger in your mind or sting your soul and take away your energy and your happiness? One technique is for forgiving this is to face it head on. Similar to what we did with some of the other exercises, it's saying, I forgive, and state their name. Her unkind way is a reflection on her, not on me. She may be carrying hurtfulness in her heart. I wish her well and will be moving on. I will refocus my energy on me. I choose me. It's critical. Again, you only have so much energy in your day, and these are all little strategies. They're very simple. But as you go through your days and you start to think of these, I am very confident that they will give you energy that you can focus on you to be healthier, to be happier with your family, more content with the work that you're doing. Forgiveness at times can be difficult. It doesn't mean you necessarily agree with it. It's just that it robs you of your happiness and energy. You want to wish it well, and it truly is a key to living your best life, to give yourself the gift of forgiveness. And then lastly, I want to just talk about your voice and the power of your voice. This quote by Madonna: a lot of people are afraid to say what they want, so they don't get what they want. A lesson that I want to share is to realize the power of your voice. We all have challenges, whether it's a personal struggle or not being able to open the lid on a jelly jar. And in that moment, your approach can make all the difference. I wanted to paint the entire interior of our home. The painters had a cancellation and would be arriving in 2 days. I was excited. I drove to the design gallery to select the paint colors, and then time stood still for me. I stared at piles of swatches and stacks of books full of options. It was overwhelming. How can there be 100 shades of yellow? I was unable to grasp this many paint colors. Negative chatter filled my mind. I thought, why can't I pick a color to paint a wall? I left and arrived home with weary red eyes. Have you ever been self-conscious or discouraged because you do not have the same talent or skill set as a coworker or a friend? We see this often when we're working in our day-to-day jobs. Someone else has a better skill set than us. A lesson learned is do not hide the areas you're still developing. Appreciate who you are today. Choose to learn about it or decide it's not your focus. Focus on your strengths. For me, my husband, who saw my very red eyes, listened to my story, called a friend experienced in colors, and the result was room colors we loved. Is choosing a paint color a true challenge? For me, it was. The lesson I want to share is embrace the power of your voice. Ask, ask, ask. Ask for help. You don't always have to be a superhero. You can believe you have superhero powers, but at times even superheroes need help. Again, very simple strategy, but how often do you struggle or let a challenge fester inside of you? You're at home and the dishes are piling up and nobody's helping, but you don't ask. You need assistance for a project at work, but you don't ask. Career advice. You're looking to start a new business and can benefit from a mentor. What is in your life that you can ask for help with? And again, top of mind strategy saying, I am going to use my voice. I am going to ask someone to help me with my resume. I'm going to ask someone to help me clean my house. And use your voice to ask. So I want everybody to write down what is one thing that you can ask for help or guidance with as you go through your day, or that relates to your goal to accomplish your goal. And then the second way to use your voice is to share your voice and your talents. You're very talented, and to realize that when you're in a social setting or a work meeting, instead of being quiet, bring top of mind and think of and share something meaningful and relevant to add to conversations. For those of you, I work very virtual. For those of you who work in an environment where you're sitting in meetings, how frequently is there quiet in the room? Really take that initiative to speak up and let your voice be heard. I oversee an internship program, and one of the things I say to the interns on the first day is share your voice. You're here for a reason. Even though you're brand new, share your voice. So be prepared to share your opinions and reflect on the value that you bring. Remember, you rock. And for me, I may not be great at selecting paint colors. However, I appreciate my ability to share my voice and mentor others. So think about how you can share your voice and write that down as well. It's important, critical. And in summary, again, we went through a lot very quickly. We shared strategies to believe in yourself, make yourself a priority, and take care of you. Simple daily strategies. The roots are the foundation. That's what you love about yourself, what you appreciate. Your self-affirmations, your positive self-talk are the tools to help you grow, nourishing self-belief and confidence to remove self-doubt. Set an I will goal. Set a today I choose to action statements to create your first step. Plants need oxygen, water, and sunshine. You have to make yourself a priority and nourish you so you can flourish every day. On your journey to your best self, the first step can be the most frightening. Overcome one barrier at a time by asking how and planning the next action step. The first step. Say yes to you, reclaim your energy, and focus on you and your priorities. You are the CEO of you, a masterpiece. Sparkle with self-confidence and choose you. And focus on the simplicity of these strategies to overcome the complexity in your life. Inch by inch, love and appreciate you. Simply be you, the best version of you, and you got this. And pass on your uniqueness to your children. As you become the best version of yourself, have the confidence to give that gift to others. Pass on the remarkable you to the world and share the gift of you. You rock. And then the end, or is this your beginning? And so we have really just a couple of minutes for questions, but I did want to mention real quickly our outstanding moderator, Darcy, founded her own company, Home by Darcy, and she's offered to give a free product to one of the individuals on this call today. So if you go onto her website, Home by Darcy, and pick out one of the products, just email me and she will pick at random one of the participants and we'll ship it to you for free. This happiness is an inevitable blanket I have. I have a few of her products. They're outstanding. I love this. It's just so much energy. So any questions that anybody has? Darcy, is there anything?
Let's see. Some are still coming in. Someone says they want to ask their partner to assist more. I think a lot of us can identify with that. Maybe not you, Jackie, because it sounds like you have a perfect husband.
No. Nobody's perfect. We're all a work in progress and a masterpiece. Go ahead. I know we only have a minute left.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, it looks like someone says, I just want to be more grateful, and I think if I meditate, that will help. So I think that's a very good point. And a few people said, thank you, this is great information. Will the slides be shared? Is there any other questions?
Perfect. Well, we can wrap up. We appreciate everybody's time. I'm so excited to share with you today. And again, you're welcome to visit visit Darcy at Home by Darcy, as well as my book, Are You Ready? A Guide to Be the Best Version of You, is on Amazon. It was a pleasure to talk with you all today. Believe in yourself. You've got this. And I'm going to turn it over to Sade.
Thank you, Jackie. Your book is excellent. I have it next to me. I read it. I made all my notes right in your book. I wrote down, you have spaces for people to write, and I love that. It's a workbook and a book all in one.
Thanks,
So
Darcy. Appreciate
thank you.
that.
Well, on behalf of Bryant Alumni Association, we would like to thank Jackie for her thought-provoking presentation. Most of all, we would like to thank all of you for joining us today. Our entire webinar series archive can be found at alumniconnect.bryant.edu/webinars. If you enjoyed this webinar or want to suggest a topic for the future, please look out for the survey and our email. Upcoming events can be found again at bryant.edu/alumnievents.com. This concludes today's webinar. Thank you so much, and everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank you.